All right. So as far as the D church go, right? Excuse me. So we have a issue, right? There's a group that the Bible talks about a falling away, right? A fall. It's not talking about the falling away from the church, but it's talking about the falling away from the faith. But before we can have that falling away, and by the way, that's in Matthew where it talks about Matthew 24, where it's talking about the falling away. And but before we can have that falling away from the faith, it's going to be a mass exodus of the church, and we're seeing that now. We're seeing the church growing, and there's certain certainty to the church growth. But we also seeing people falling. We also seeing people falling away. We also seeing people leaving the church. They're not leaving the faith per se yet, but they're leaving the church, and they're leaving the church because some of the things that's being done. Let's talk about it. I seen a video today, this morning before while I was up, and I was looking at the video, and it was this dude in Africa, and he had his ministry, he had a nice sized ministry, and he had half of the congregation believing that eating grass, there's life in eating grass. So they was out there eating life. They was eating grass. This is some of the stuff that people are seeing, and they stop going to church. Um, Another thing that's what's going on in the church is people are coming into the church, and the church is more focused on keeping the people in the church than sending the people out of the church. So people are coming into the church getting fed off word, and they just getting tired of being preached at, right? They're so fed off word, and they're so told that this and that, and they're tired of being preached at. So guess what? They go out and say, you know what, the church is not really needed no more. I can go on YouTube and get good teachers. I can go on the different Facebook and all this different stuff and get good teachers and get in the word. So it's kind of like it's not needed. And a lot of people are seeing that the church is really supposed to, the way the church is setting up right now is it's surrounded by one man of God or one woman of God. And they are kind of like being worshipped in a way. And you know, the pastor position has become worship. And we're seeing that people are more focused on, pastors more focused on having their position set up and being, I'm not gonna say glorified. I'm talking just gonna say they set up and everything is good. Um, if we look at the Bible, we look at the Book of Acts. Let's look at the Bible and let's take in the New Testament and look at Timothy and Paul relationship. If you look at the second letter of Timothy, Paul writes to Timothy. You can see at the end, Paul is saying that my time is kind of rolling up. It's your time to take on the takeover. It's your time to be what I am, right? And you can see through the first and second Timothy that there's a Timothy was a little boy under his grandmother and mother to Paul saying, now you're ready. It's time for you to take over. When we see in the church, there's no more people taking it from meat to from milk to meat and then let them say, okay, here it is. You go and do it. And we look at the church system, it's not what God called. I'm 100% sure this is not what God called for as for the system of what church is. God didn't make it where there be a line of pastors under one head pastor, right, in the church, and they doing different things in the church. That's not what the call of God was. The call of God, okay, if I'm a man of God and I'm over a flock, and I'm a pastor, because that's what a pastor is. He's leading this flock. If I'm a man of God, I'm to raise up more people to go out. I'm to raise up missionaries. I'm to raise up evangelists. I'm to raise up pastors, so I can send them out. My job may not be necessarily to go out and seek and save, but my job is to raise up people to be able to do that. My job is to raise up people who are ready and able to go out with spiritual gifts, with knowing the Word of God, under the Holy Spirit, going out and being able to do a job. And I think that's what's missing in today's church, and that's one of the biggest reasons why people are leaving the church.